Good morning, Yelm students. We're excited to host the Professionals by Pathway Career Exploration event to help students connect their learning to career opportunities. I am Miss Serven, and I'm excited to welcome Sara Smith with AmeriCorps as our guest today. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that this is being recorded so future students can benefit from our speakers. We have the next 30 minutes to learn about their career field, the education that is needed to enter and grow within the industry, and what advice our speaker has for our students. We will be monitoring questions that students submit. Let's get started so our students can learn about various professions and how they can prepare for their future. Sara, I know that you have a presentation for us to share about your career field and how to get started, growth opportunities, pay, and more. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Serven. And hello to the students. My name is Sara Smith, and I work for AmeriCorps. I do have a presentation, and I'm kind of be referring to it to make sure that I hit every point. AmeriCorps has a few different branches for service. So you can either work for the National Civilian Community Corps, or there's also the VISTA program. The National Civilian Community Corps is young adult based. It's from 18 to 26 years old. And if you're able to pass a drug screening and are eligible for a 10 to 12-month service, and it includes extensive travel, these are folks who want to get their hands dirty, so to speak. Um, the VISTA program that they also have is for those 18 years and older, can pass a background check, and want to work behind the scenes in programming. And this program is more administrative focused. Also, the AmeriCorps is considered part of like Peace Corps. They're the same. The Peace Corps mainly focuses overseas. AmeriCorps is basically U.S. based. And let's see, for where I serve and what I do. I serve at the Pack Mountain Workforce Development Council. It is in the WorkSource building in Tumwater over by South Puget Sound Community College. My service program that I work with is called PREP, and that is for the Preparation of Reentry Employment Program. In the program, the participants go through a 5-week curriculum that includes resume building, cover letters, your elevator speech, your 60-second speech, just letting people know about you, their incarceration speeches, and they also work on getting rid of barriers that they will have to employment. Our participants are folks who are justice involved through the Thurston County Jail, and they make choices on working upon release. They once they go into the work release program, they will go to like a work release housing facility, and then they are able to come to the work source and apply for jobs and work on getting employed. So they work on that. Okay, so then let's see. Oh, I missed a slide. I'm sorry about that. Any special training needed? There is no special training. When you become part of AmeriCorps, you also become part of the Washington Service Corps. And the Washington Service Corps lead will have training that you go through specifically for AmeriCorps and specifically for Washington Service Corps. And then you have trainers that you work with. For example, like myself, there is a workforce development specialist that goes in and does the 5-week trainings at the jail. And he works with me on training what we need to do for that 5 weeks, and then what we will be doing when they go to a work release house and come to work source. So there's kind of a lot of training, but you do get training and there's nothing to worry about. You get very high quality training when you're here. Okay. And my last slide is more about me. Before coming to AmeriCorps, I worked through an organization called Sidewalk, and it is a nonprofit organization that works with and assists folks that are dealing with houselessness, getting them housed. And during the pandemic, when a lot of the businesses were closed, social services, the folks at Sidewalk stepped up and we were helping folks get rid of barriers. We were helping them get back lost IDs. We were helping them apply for unemployment. We were helping them apply for like food stamps and other DSHS programs. Before that, I was at a nonprofit that was Thurston County Volunteer Legal Services. And what they do is they have attorneys that will volunteer their time to help you represent yourself in civil matters. They also have the Housing Justice Project that does a lot of landlord-tenant. Through AmeriCorps, I am able to continue my passion for helping people by working in advocacy with the Washington Recovery Alliance, with the Low Income Housing Advocacy. And I've been able to become a certified peer supporter. And I've also become certified in what's called SOAR, and that is helping folks that are dealing with houselessness or are at risk applying for Social Security. And it just kind of helps break down a financial barrier, gets them some income that will help them to eliminate other barriers and become houseless or become housed, so to speak. That pretty much is what I do. Are there any questions?
I'll give the students a minute to put any questions in the Q&A if they want to, but I have a couple questions of my own to ask.
Great.
So it sounds like the AmeriCorps is pretty much like a kind of entry-level job. Am I correct in that?
Yes, and what it is to help folks get experience and to gain experience to be able to go to jobs with, like, if they do social work or if they do human services, kind of gives them that background.
That's so cool. So if students are interested in applying, do they just go to the AmeriCorps website and does it direct them to their state, or what do they need to do?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, they will be able to go to the AmeriCorps website, or they can also go to the Washington Service Corps website. And then they just have links that they can go through there to apply.
that is amazing. Really accessible for everybody, it sounds like.
Yes.
So how do you use reading, writing, and communication skills in your job on a day-to-day basis?
Reading, writing, and communication. Right now, a lot of it is virtual. A lot of it's computers. Um, so knowing computer basics is going to be huge and crucial. Um, and just knowing like business etiquette kind of stuff when you're writing, because you'll be um, sending emails to coworkers and kind of, so it just having a basic knowledge of business letters and business emails.
Awesome. I think many of our students will be prepared for that because we do things like tech com and we have lots of business and um, ELA classes to take. Um, so it sounds like your employer offers you a lot of opportunities to continue your education and
Yes,
become certified. Do
yes.
they pay for those? Do they reimburse you for those certificates if you have to pay?
It will depend. Like you had mentioned, if we have to pay, there is the option, and they have that ability. Plus, there's also other programs that we can go through to get assistance in financials if need be.
That's amazing. It's always good to have an employer who encourages you to get
Yeah.
more education.
Yes.
Um, Looking through my questions. Um, what do you love most about your work?
For me, it's being able to help people. It's being able to serve those that are in need, and being able to use my story and my lived experience to help them in knowing that they can recover, or they can rise above where they're at.
I think there's a lot of similarities among all kind of civil servants that feel that way deeply. It really all motivates us, I think.
Yes.
What does your workplace environment look like? Are you mostly in like the office? Do you travel? Kind of what does that look like?
For me, pretty much, I'm in the office. Right now, I'm working on site. And when the work source is open, we have participants that come in, and we'll go down and we'll sit in classes with them. We'll sit side by side and walk them through whatever they need to work on and get rid of barriers and help them fully participate in what they want to do.
Has your office space changed with COVID, or is it pretty much the same?
A lot of it has changed because there's a lot of folks that are working from home. They're working remotely. We do have a few that are still in office, but mostly it's a lot of people are working from home, which is great that we have that opportunity.
I agree. I think the option to work from home is a really big thing right now, especially for a lot of people that might be having to care for young ones at home or are just immunocompromised.
Yes.
So that's amazing that your job and your company really pushes to make sure that all of your employees are safe and doing well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what made you decide to move to AmeriCorps from your other ventures?
Um, just kind of standpoint that where I was coming to an end. And so I was given the opportunity to step into AmeriCorps, and I really liked the ability that I was going to have the chance when I finish my time of service to be able to go back to school and be able to continue schooling at that point and um, bring my certifications into a degree.
So, what is one thing that you wish, as we're wrapping this up here, what is something that you wish you would have known before you ventured in with AmeriCorps?
That I had been more aware of what AmeriCorps did, and I could have started this journey earlier.
Awesome. I feel like a lot of students will kind of resonate with that. But thank you so much, Sarah, for taking the time to share your career and your advice today. I think all of our students have really found a valuable source for a place to go when they maybe don't know what they want to do right away. So very accessible for all of them. And thank you so much for today.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate your time.